Hey folks, Maverick Watch Reviews back here with another review for you. Today we have the Timex Weekender 30-meter quartz watch. And as usual, we'll open it up, look at the fit and finish, the features and the functions, the build quality, and then I'll give you my overall impressions of this pretty inexpensive timepiece from Timex. But first, I'd also like to invite you to become a patron of mine on Patreon. This will allow me to buy a faster laptop and better editing software, and I hope to give you a new watch review at least a couple times a week. At least that's my goal. Make sure you check out my Patreon page when you get a chance, and my only commitment level is $3 a month, but you can always give more or less, 1, 3, 5, 10, whatever you can spare a month would be greatly appreciated. All right, here we go. Now, normally I don't review Timexes because I'm just not crazy about Timexes, but I wanted to take a look at this one. So anyway, here you go. Here's the box. Nothing impressive about the box. These are really inexpensive timepieces, so this is not going to be a very fast review, not because they're cheap, but because there's really just not so much to talk about. So anyway, here you go. You have all your manuals and stuff right here in this little section of the watch display case there. Let's take this thing off the stand and let's talk about it. And these are incredibly popular. Yeah, they're incredibly cheap, but they're also very popular watches. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and get the specs here real quick. All right, let's get the case size. There you go, 38 millimeters. And this is a brass case, by the way. This is not stainless steel. Let's get a thickness. Thickness, you're looking at 10 millimeters. It's a pretty thin watch. Lug to lug. Let's look at that. Lug to lug, you're looking at, let's basically say 45 millimeters. And let's look at this nylon NATO strap. And you're looking at 20 millimeters for the NATO strap. All right, let's talk about the other specs on the left-hand side of the screen here. You're looking at 30 meters water resistant, which is about 100 feet. It does have a crown over there at 3 o'clock, not a screw-down crown, so it's not a dive watch. It has a mineral crystal. It has the W92 quartz movement, and I don't know if that's a Timex movement or some sort of outsourced movement. It does have 24-hour markings on the dial. It has a snap case back, not a screw down. Again, this isn't a dive watch. It has about a 3-year battery life, but it is hackable, which is kind of surprising considering this watch is relatively inexpensive. So there you go. I mean, this is going to be a fast review, guys. Really not too much to talk about, excuse me, with this watch. It is a good looking watch, incredibly legible, just really simple. You don't even get a date function, which is a little bit disappointing. I wish it had a date function on there. It feels surprisingly well built. The whole case is polished. There aren't any brush surfaces at all that I can find anywhere on the case. It's all polished. You have a nice kind of accented red ticking second hand here. And the one thing about this watch that's it's a little odd is that you can hear this thing ticking across the room. I mean, I heard it ticking while it was inside of the box. So it's got a very loud tick, which is just kind of odd. It does, of course, have the Indiglo nightlight feature, and I will show you that here in a second. I do wish it had some some applied lume on the indexes and hands, so you wouldn't always have to use the Indiglo nightlight if you didn't want to, because, of course, every time you press that, that's going to drain your battery. So I wish it did have some applied lume on the second hand, the minute hand, and the rest of the indexes in the hour hand too. But, you kind of get what you pay for. This is a very, very inexpensive watch. So anyway, what else? Has a solid feeling crown, nice crown pop on it, not a spring-loaded crown, I guess, because this is not a screw-down crown, but it has a nice feeling crown on it. The strap, I mean, it's your basic 20 millimeter nylon strap. You don't have a signed buckle there. You got to remember, people, how inexpensive this watch is. Let's go ahead and I would show you the snap case back, but there's really not much to show. I mean, it's just your basic standard snap case back. It's got some information about the watch, its water resistance and some other stuff. But that's really about it. Just a real basic watch. Now, I think it's a pretty decent value for money considering how inexpensive it is. The Weekend is a smaller series. The Expeditions are a little bit bigger. Now you can also get this in a 40 millimeter, which to me is still a little small for a guy. I mean, for a guy, I think you need to start, personally, this is my personal opinion, please don't hate on me, you need to start at about 42 millimeters for a guy. Anything under that, to me, personally, it's just a little bit small for me. Now, some guys out there might definitely get away with wearing that. Some guys out there might prefer a little bit smaller watch. But for me, a guy's watch needs to start at 42 millimeters. So there you go. I said that. I'm sure I'm going to get some hateful comments about saying this. So anyway, again, the only thing I really wish it had, I wish it had some applied lume, and I wish it had at least a date function. You don't get any of that with this watch. So let's go ahead and try this thing on. It's actually very comfortable. And I have a big wrist, man. I have an 8-inch wrist, and it fit me fine right out of the box. I mean, it looks ridiculously small on my wrist, but it fits great. Let's go ahead and pop this in here. If I can get it in there. All right, there you go. So there you go. It actually doesn't look as small as I thought it would, but it's still a little bit small. So there you go. I mean, nice wrist presence. Got one of the most legible watches I've ever reviewed. So I'm actually, you know, I don't dislike it at all. It's just not my favorite. All right, so let's go ahead and show you this famed Indiglo here. Now this is an electroluminescent display. So this basically uses the battery. And all you do is you just press the crown in. There you go. There's your display. And as long as you press it, the light lights up. And every time you do that, you got to remember you're using battery when you're doing that. So that's going to diminish your battery life. Again, about an average 3-year battery life, but if you press this a lot, you're going to make that a lot sooner. So there you go. Again, you know, really, really legible watch. Simple, probably the simplest face I've ever seen on the watch. It does have the 24-hour markings there. So if you need this, you know, if you're in the military or you know how to tell military time, there you go. Military time is really easy. All you do is all you do is add $12. I can't talk today. All you do is add 12 hours to whatever time you're looking at. So if it's 3 o'clock, add 12 hours, it's 1500. If it's 6 o'clock, add 12 hours, it's 1800. And you can see that, and I'll turn the studio light back on. You can see that on the dial. See? Just add 12 hours after 12 o'clock in the afternoon, add 12 hours, and that's your military time. So there you go. All right, guys. Again, really, really simple review. Hopefully, you know, pretty quick review. You can get one of these for $29 on Amazon. Yes, I said it, $29 with free shipping. There are an absolute ton of different styles of this watch, different nylon strap colors, different face colors. You can also get this in a chronograph if you want. Just tons and tons. You can actually design your own, you know, your own dial color, your own strap color. Tons of different options. Really inexpensive watch. You know, you set it. You don't have to worry about it. You're looking at about an average of plus or minus 10 or 15 seconds per month accuracy, which is about standard for a Quartz watch. So there you go, man. I mean, that's it. This has been the Timex Weekender 30-meter Quartz watch, model number T2N651JT. And if you like this video, please click on like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, I would definitely appreciate that. And of course, I'll put a link to this in the description field down at the bottom, so you can check out this and the billions of other combinations on, well, actually, I'll do this. I'll put the link to this on the Timex website, and I'll put the link to this on Amazon. On Timex's website, I think they go for $47, but you can get them on Amazon for $29. So that's been about it. And until the next review, I will talk to y'all later. Take care. Bye-bye.